It's me again. A new video. So this is one of my first reviews in a long time. It's actually going to be about Sega Prize. Sega Prize Europe. Now, if you don't know what Sega Prize Europe is, they're responsible for this guy. Pretty much Europe has their own Sega Prize where they make their own exclusive Sonic merch. Similar to how Japan has theirs, which, you know, like Sega Prize Japan did come back with their most recent plushie of Sonic, which I have not made a video on this one yet. I just haven't uploaded it. But this isn't about this set. I feel like I can make an entire video just about Sega Prize and the weird, wacky world behind Sega Prize. So I'm gonna kind of cover that shortly here. So originally Sega Prize had a plush set for Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and Shadow. I only own 3 of these so far, which is just these guys. I own the Sonic, Tails, and Shadow. And at some point down the line when Sonic Boom came out, they were supposed to make Boom Sonic, Boom Knuckles, I think Super Sonic, a couple other characters maybe, but they just never released. Prize Europe recently has kind of just been making official bootlegs of the Toy Factory ones, which that could be its own separate video whenever I cover the regular Toy Factory set. Finally got a package from Europe. Okay. Alright. That was, okay, damn. Alrighty. Alright. We got the characters all here. So, yup, this has to do with Sonic Prime, because when that show came out, I literally only cared about the merchandise, and the merch for this show hasn't really been the best, I'm gonna be honest. Like, the best example of what I mean, look at how much stuff Sonic X had versus this show. I mean, at least Sonic Prime got more stuff than Sonic Boom, but off with the first plushie, Sonic. This is the Sega Prize Europe Prime Sonic. Now, here he is next to their regular modern Sonic, and there's a lot of differences between these guys. Now, they still keep the same, like, sturdy, chubby-looking body structure. Tag, it gets that same render that's on every piece of Sonic Prime merch. And the back, Sega Prize International. Oh, I guess if you're in Canada, you can get these in the UK, but I had to order these fuckers online. Now, overall, I think the pattern design for Sonic is a bit wonky, especially in the face. He has that middle mouth, and his mouth is red for some reason. That's a very weird design choice. And he has the classic white embroidery, something a lot of companies do. He's overall just an okay plushie of Sonic. He's very cheapy. He sort of reminds me of those early Sonic Adventure plushies from how cheapy he is. Just like this guy, he has the same weird like arms and legs as this one, where it's just kind of proportioned weird off. But I do think the newer one has a slightly better design. I just think the old Sonic kind of looks better. I feel like his nose is a bit too big on this newer one, along with his eyes and face. Besides that, the embroidery on his eyes are pretty good. Now, his ears are different compared to the old Sonic, where they're very just floppy. Here, they're fully stuffed and a bit sturdy on there. And his spikes are also drastically different. I really like how they handle the new Sonic, and you can tell how far they've come with the new one. But one downside to the Prime Sonic is the printing. Yeah, this guy's printing is pretty bad. The hands on his gloves are completely printed, which there's not too much to say besides classic cheap printing, and his entire legs are printed. This is the first time I ever seen something like this, like the whole leg. The whole leg. Like, they could have easily just printed his shoes and kept the legs intact. Like, they even printed this part on here. Like, not even the Jack specific plush did that from the very start. Is the Jack specific oh, god damn it! Since these are the only plushies of Prime Sonic officially that aren't a backpack, I don't know what the fuck happened to Play by Play. That one seemingly just didn't come out, so there's these two. Okay, now moving on to the next character, which is 9. Now, this is, in my opinion, I think the best plushie of 9 that we have officially. And I do like this guy. I do very much like 9. So, unlike Sonic, 9 has, sadly, his entire torso is completely printed. That's the first thing I noticed with this guy. And he's a little bit of a downgrade of the original Sega Prize Tails. Like, he's a bit of a downgrade, but also a bit of an upgrade compared to the old Tails. Now, 9 isn't Tails. There's obviously some differences. And here's 9. He has the exact same tag as Sonic. Nothing really interesting to say. I actually never opened the tag. Oh! So inside of the tag shows the characters, and it even has a title. They even have little title cards here, which... Hold on, I gotta get Sonic's now. I had no idea they had this. Low profile isn't my thing, and it shows all the characters here. I won't lie, they look a lot better on these drawings than they do in person. Specifically you, Sonic. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, and of course, here's the tag for 9. No message with my best friend. Is that Sonic you're referring to? Okay, whatevs. And overall is still pretty damn good. Just like the Sega Prize Europe plushie of Tails, and a lot of the problems I had with this plush, they actually fixed. Such as his tusks. Little fur pieces on the side of his face are a lot larger compared to how they are on Tails, which is super small. The nose is no longer a button like how it was before, but I still think it looks nice. His eyes are also a little bit more detailed than the original Tails. He actually has embroidery going around his eyes, and the embroidery on his eyes is still just as good. His mouth has a gray embroidery, which I really like the fact that it's gray instead of black. I don't know why, it just looks nice. And of course the ears are the exact same as how they were last time. They're stuffed nicely well, and there's no printing on his ears either. The only thing about 9 I really don't like is the hair. I kind of wish the hair would stick up, since on 9 it's supposed to stick straight up in a way. It kind of just flops all over the place, which I guess works for a character like 9, but since it is supposed to stick up like that, and it's kind of just not even trying, it's just, yeah, it does kind of suck in that regard. Especially comparing it to the old Tails, where that isn't really a problem. I don't know why he's very round. I don't think that's a thing. I think that's because of the stuffing. No. So 9 has like a weird beams. Yeah, he has beams in him for some reason. Sonic doesn't have beams, but 9, he has beams. And I already mentioned earlier, his entire torso is just completely printed. There's not much to really say about that, but his arms and legs are actually pretty good. They have separate fabric, which I wish the legs have different fabric, which I wish his entire body was made out of this fabric, but oh well. And his hands even use the different material. Sadly, he doesn't have like the emblem for the glove, like how it is for the Jack specific. I think for the legs, for his pants, is the same fabric as the sleeves, and the shoes are also just printed. And of course, the tail. Now, all the companies have sort of been given 9 this tail thing in the show. Jax did the same thing with their plushie. I think it looks better on this one than it does here, because this looks like something else, and if I say it, my channel getting taken down, so I'm not going to. But here's the Jax specific 9 and the Sega Prize 9. Overall, I very much prefer the Sega Prize 9 plush, even though Jax has more effort. I just think this one looks nicer. I really like this plushie of 9. So 9 is by far my favorite character from this set. He looks amazing, so I very much enjoy how 9 is. So this third character is a weird one, because you think the third character would be Knuckles, maybe Rusty Rose, Thorn Rose. Our third character is Rebel Rouge, which this is the first time in a long time Rouge has gotten a new plush. The last time Rouge the Bat got a plush was from Great Eastern. So this is the first plushie of Rouge we've had in years. Oh yeah, and here's the tag for A Better Tomorrow, and it shows the other character. Now this is Rebel Rouge. I forgot Rebel was even in Sonic Prime, but I mean, she is a Rouge variant, and I'm happy to see Rouge get merch anyway, because like I said, the last Rouge plush was since Great Eastern. So Rebel, of course, has her hat, which is completely printed, but it's nice that it's stuffed here. I do like the hat. The ears are flat, unlike Sonic and 9's back there. They don't have no stuffing in them. but they do look really good. There's no printing, different fabric. It's nice. They're actually really soft. Face, of course, has the nice embroidery going across the face. Her arms have that same sleeve thing going on that 9 has, where it uses the different fabric as it goes into printing. The gloves, there's not too much to really be said. The pants, same thing as 9's, except the shoes are printed. There's not much there. But the main thing with Rebel are her wings. Wings are connected to her head, and they're completely flat. They use the same fabric as the sleeves with a little bit of printing on them. Honestly, I like this. I really like Rebel. I said 9 was my favorite character that they made for this set, but I actually think it might be Rebel because this plushie is pretty damn good. Rebel is she does have these little like things going all across her head, just like the other plushies of Rouge. Now, one thing I'm going to say with Rebel is I really hope she doesn't end up like the other Sega Prize Rouge plushies in the past, where they end up just costing a liver to get your hands on. Also, this is a total side note, but the beans on these are just very off-centered. I don't know why they even have beans in them, because I don't think they sit down properly anyway. But the last character is Mr. Dr. Eggman. I think that's his name. I don't know why they didn't just call him Mr. Robotnik or something, but here he is with his... Yeah, Mr. Dr. Eggman. That is such a weird name. I don't know why they don't just call him Eggman, but... Yep, here he is from the show, and honestly, the only version of Eggman I actually like. And this plushie is definitely the worst. Now, Eggman does not fit this proportion, right? He does not fit this proportion. Now, look at this. This has to be the goofiest plush of Eggman I have ever seen, because I get he's supposed to be built like an egg, but what is this? Like, now the body is completely printed just like the rest of them, so there's not much to really be said on there. I don't really like printing, so we already know that. Now the sleeves have the same thing as 9 and Rebel. The gloves, nothing really too special, and the shoes are also printed as well, which even at least they got all the details with the printing, I guess. The main thing is Burrow's face. Now he does look like Mr. Dr. Eggman, and he has a lot of detail. The embroidery and different stitching is pretty good, I won't lie. His mustache is all over the place, I will say that, but it isn't terrible, okay? Mr. Dr. Eggman isn't terrible, okay? He does have his little hair on his head. He is bald going all the way around besides this. He got his goggles with a little eye shine, which kind of remind me of U2's. But he has a lot more embroidery than the other characters, at least. So I do like that. Okay, this is a total side note, but I thought the one plush of Eggman that looked like this from Jax was like goofy, but this takes the cake for like goofiest plush of Eggman I have ever seen. I feel like this plush is so bad, it's really good. Which is how I feel about this thing. It's so bad, it's amazing. I like this set, okay? And that's it for the Sonic Prime set from Sega Prize Europe. I get this video was definitely an odd one. There's not too much to really be said. They're pretty simplistic plushies. And honestly, if you can find these, you should try to pick them up, because I personally really like this set. It's one of my favorite Sonics in recent memory. Something I forgot to mention earlier with Rouge is that Rouge and Sonic have different variants, or at least different prototype variants. The only difference is the mouth. Now some plushies of Rouge have a side mouth, other ones have a middle mouth, like the one that I have, which I think she's supposed to come with the middle mouth. But